Hey everyone, this is part 3 of preparing your car for a road trip. In this video, I'll be going over the optional items. So, like the title suggests, these aren't needed at all, but they help out depending on the situation. So like I said in the last video, changing your oil right before a long distance trip is good because it'll help your engine perform better and you'll possibly get better gas mileage out of it. Or, if your car burns oil, it'll change itself as you continuously refill it while you're driving. Next up is a trick for helping you get your lug nuts off. We already know these are on there pretty tightly, and I went over both the L wrench and the speed wrench in my previous videos, but I didn't go over kind of how to get the lug nuts off, so I thought I'd include this in this one. So if you do have trouble getting these off, a little trick to help make it easier is to take your L wrench and align it horizontally on the bolt like this. And then all you do is step on it with your body weight. And off it comes, just like that. With the speed wrench, it's similar, but in this case, you'll put it on the bolt and you'll push down on one end while pulling up on the other end, and that'll help make it easier to get these off. Just remember, you know which way you should be turning them. Pretty much all of them are counterclockwise to get them off. So we've got a few more pieces of equipment to go over, and then that's it. So, we have a road flare, which this will help get the attention of other drivers in an emergency. So it's good to have one of those on you. Then we have an air compressor, which this is good in case you need to refill one of your tires if it's low on air at some point during your trip. Or more importantly, you come across somebody else who needs one of their tires filled up. So then you can help them in that case. At the same time, some new cars don't even come with a spare tire. Instead, they just give you a can of Fix-A-Flat to reinflate whatever tire is flat at the time. So that's also acceptable. You can have a can of Fix-A-Flat with you too. Here we have a fire extinguisher. Personally, I consider this a necessary item, but because car fires are very rare, it's pretty much optional at this point. But it's still good to have because you never know when you come across a fire when you're going somewhere. You could help somebody else out in that way too. It's the same as keeping a fire extinguisher in your house, just in case you need it. And lastly, we have a set of what's left of tow straps here, because they got shredded the last time I used them. Thanks, Harbor Freight. Anyway, keeping a set of tow straps with you is good too, because if you're driving through snow or ice, you get stuck, somebody else can help you out in that way. All you need to do is just hook them up to their car and they can pull you out. At the same time, you might have to do that to somebody else. And even with a car like this, a little tug can help big trucks even. I've actually towed a few people to the gas station before when they ran out of gas in town, so they do come in handy. Another thing is to keep the season in mind. You know, things like if it's winter, you should bring extra warm clothing, or if it's summer, you should bring extra water. Stuff like that. But last but not least, if you're going to be changing your oil before a long trip, you should also rotate your tires, because that will help keep them wearing evenly. Well, that covers everything here. Thanks for joining me.